Hello, thank you for joining us again on Love Improv. I'm Sherry, and we're back with our special guest, Melissa Walker. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's been great.
I've really enjoyed everything that you've talked about so far, and I am really curious. I know and feel that sexuality is a creative dynamic force in our lives from the time that we're born till we die, right?
Yeah.
And then you had just talked about how the adolescence part of our life really comes back to us in our adult life, our adult sexuality. And so how can we, as a parent, then give that room for an adolescent to explore all those physical changes that are going on, to the point where we're not, as a parent myself, I see things and I'm curious, but at the same time there's a voice that says you can't really be involved in this. So do you have any tips or guidance for parents that have adolescents?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, you talked about sexuality being a creative force in our lives, and I truly believe that in a very literal sense, that sexuality is not just about our genitals. It's not just about sex. It's not just about my sexual orientation. That sexuality is that creative life force that's in our body, and that wherever we experience pleasure in our life, we are exercising our sexuality. So to a young person who is beginning to explore their body and beginning to understand that there's pleasure and that sort of thing, helping that child to understand that there's so many ways that you can experience your body in a pleasurable way. Dancing, doing creative works, things like that. And just reassuring them to be comfortable with their body, that our body is wired for pleasure, just as soon as it's wired for pain, and that pleasure is okay and pleasure is great. It's just that here are our values about experiencing pleasure at your age. So you're not shaming them for experiencing pleasure in their body and having longings and urges, and you're saying we have values that go along with how we channel this energy, what we actually do with it. So first of all, encouraging them to do pleasurable things with their body in lots of different ways. Like I said, dance, creative things like that.
So it sounds like movement is huge. That's part of enduring that force in a different way.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's why kids get so into their sports and that kind of thing. They're pushing that force as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about the sexuality part and how they are exploring their bodies. And as parents, we don't want to bring any shame. So
absolutely.
What do we do? Do we do nothing? How do we approach the situation because it's real and it's happening and
the reality is that whether you verbally speak to your children or not, you're passing on your values about body and sexuality through the way that you interact with them, through the way that your children see you interact with your partner, how you interact with your family. So we're transmitting those messages anyway. So if you're comfortable to sit down and talk to your child about their body and what the changes are and what happens, and let yourself be available for questions. If you're not comfortable about it, to see a specialist, see a sex therapist, see a religious, come see me, to see maybe a spiritual advisor, so that you can, how do I talk about our values, our spiritual values, our cultural values in the realm of sexuality, and to get some support, because parents aren't supposed to be able to do it alone. We are built to be in a tribe of people and to draw on those resources. And then if you're still not comfortable with it, to connect with your child with someone who you feel comfortable talking about sex, a mentor. Being in a community can be a really great thing. So that you can draw on the resources of that community and say, here's this, holistic sex ed teacher that I really agree with. Maybe this person can have the conversation with my child for me. Because what's really important is that what's reflected back to them is that their sexuality is a good thing, it's a beautiful thing, and you know, supplementing that with whatever your values are around sexuality.
And that's really difficult. I think you, as a parent, you really have to have that role.
Yeah.
At some point, because there's so much media out there,
Absolutely.
movies and everything that
Yeah.
is bringing up so many adult.
Yeah.
And
if they don't get the information from their parents, they're going to do what a lot of people our age, older, younger, do, which is they go to pornography. Pornography is the sex ed for our society right now, unfortunately. And it doesn't always portray a positive picture. You know, some of it does, and a lot of it doesn't. So being proactive in that.
Okay.
And providing resources for your child, whether it's you or somebody else within your community that you trust.
So if you're going through your kid's room looking for all those towels and dirty laundry and you find some pornography.
Or a condom.
Or, oh dear, or a condom. I'm not ready for that yet.
Hopefully they're at least using condoms.
Well, that's another conversation to have.
Next
for
time.
sure. Yeah. We're hoping that this helped make you feel more comfortable out there as parents, and really appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us.
Absolutely.
And I'm Sherry. I really appreciate you being here today. Love courageously.